Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the trend. Welcome back to Trend Following with Tyson. And we'll jump into another cast today. So, before we start the week off, this is going to be the watch list for this week. Um, let's stay green, guys. We're riding some nice moves right now. I would like to imagine that they'll show some type of continuation this week. Last week was green. So let's just pick up where we left off. I'm going to show you guys some things that I'm trading and some things that should continue this week. All right. Let's pick up a quote from Druckenmiller. The way to build, and this show is all about focusing on and how to build long-term absolute returns using trend following principles. And a lot of these principles we open up every day, every show with kind of like this perspective. That way we know that we're on the right track, and everything that all the information that we indulge in and all the information that we that we go over here, we'd like to incorporate it into our trading. We like to make sure that we're using these type of trading, this mentality, these type of processes, so to speak. So we make sure that we're going through trend following in this type of manner. That way we can get as close as we can to these absolute returns that some of these best traders, some of these successful traders have made. So Stanley Druckenmiller is a really successful trader. He's a billionaire. He trades a lot. He traded alongside with George Soros. And he's one of the most successful traders, of our time and probably of all time, if you're looking from a capital gained aspect. Okay. So let's take this quote from Druckenmiller. The way to build superior long-term returns is through preservation of capital and home runs. When you have tremendous conviction on a trade, you have to go for the juggler. It takes courage to be a pit. Preservation of capital, which is risk management, and home runs, which we've been hitting a few. Home runs is when you take an entry on a stock, you take an entry on a trend, and it turns out to be a winner. It gives you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800% return back. That's a home run. All right. A home run is a run or is a trend that gives you multiple. It's like a multiple bagger. It gives you enough wins to wipe out all those little losses that you had occurred along the way. All right. So it's important that we do that inside of our trend following career if we want to make absolute returns. If we want to build superior long-term returns, we have to preserve our capital and we have to hit home runs consistently. And when we have conviction on a stock, or when we have conviction on a trade, we have to go for the juggler. We have to sort of bet the house, so to speak. Preserve capital inside that bet. But we still have to make the bets meaningful to come back. All right. Let's get into the trend picture. All right. First one we'll start off with is TNDM. Home run from the show. And we got a gap up here. We were long here at my trend line. This was our entry at my trend line. We made this entry back here just because these higher highs stacked to the side is my number one kind of go-to pattern. So we got long on these higher highs, rode this wave all the way up, and I'm still riding this wave. I have a nice position here still from $7. All right, rode it up here to 20, and then I said, I would be expecting some movement. I would expect it to, hold this level, and it surely did. It held 20 and gapped up. So it's holding this level now. I expect it to knock this higher high down this week. It's holding this level like it's been holding all these other levels. When it holds these levels, that's a sign that it's getting ready to make another higher high in price. So we're just riding that wave. I believe some news came through about them having some kind of special product that pumps itself through insulin and such forth. So price action on that stock has a reason to continue. Has a reason to continue. All right. TNDM, look for it to hold these levels like it's doing now and just continue out. So it gapped up and then held these prices all day. All right, gapped up here and held these prices here. Beautiful sign on this stock. Whenever it holds these prices, it's good for the next higher high. Watch TNDM for some continuation, maybe at 25, 26, 27 by the end of the week. INTELSAT still showing signs of life with those higher highs still. INTELSAT still showing signs of life. Made this big gap up, tried to hold this price, gap fell down and trying to hold this price. So we'll see what happens with this stock. I don't have a fairly large position in there because that stock is so whipsawy. So watch for INTELSAT to hold those prices and continue back up towards 20 this week. Special value. Alright, remember I told you guys we already been watching it here. We're watching it here, okay? We've been watching it since it was at price 17 and rolling up. So I said I'd like it to keep these continuing these higher highs and for it to meet these levels here, and we've done that. So if this thing continues and closes above here, 22 and 23, you guys, that's something special working there in SVU. Alright, broken that's downtrend. Let's see. We're getting close here, alright? Higher highs, higher lows all the way out here. Let's see if we close above here, SVU. Give you some levels on it on the 5-day. See how nice it's been trading minus the trade wars. All these stocks should be trading well inside this trade war, so to speak. Inside of this time of uncertainty, these stocks are definitely certain of what direction or where they're headed, and we're just gonna ride the bus there with them. So look for this stock to hold this last major support level at 2077, 2075. Okay, SVU. SENS looking promising. It's already crossed some major lands. I mean, some major resistance levels, crossing some major spaces. Alright, so we broke out of this. We're headed up to 5, so I'd like for this thing to possibly continue. Alright, this is the highest price we've been in 5 years. Okay, so look for this thing to possibly continue. I don't know where. Just see where it goes. I didn't know where a lot of these home runs were going. These are home runs, guys. TNDM, INTELSAT, stocks that we've opened up at 7 and they're at 20 now. Stocks that we've made over 10 points on, 12, 13 points. Those are home runs that Druck and Miller's talking about. So if you're looking for a long on SENS, I'd like for it to hold these levels here. This last resistance turn support 450. Okay. GLUU. The stock's still trending up. As you see, it was 630 right here. Tried to get up towards 675. So we'll look for it to knock this higher high down this week. See how it looks. Alright, we're getting towards this area here. A lot of movement from this area all the way up to here. So let's see if we knock this down over here. See if we can get this going and possibly get that going this week. Alright, GLUU. So watch it for continuation. See how it looks on the yearly. Really nice and strong. Normally I'm gonna do a show on rounding bottoms to show them why I like them so much. And I'm gonna give you guys a number of charts that's gonna have some rounding bottoms to reference to. And I'm gonna give you guys a rounding bottom chart. Okay. You should have that rounding bottom should show up on the 5-year time frame, and then on the yearly it should be really stiff at 2 o'clock. Price action should be really straightforward at 2 o'clock. Okay. Another rounding bottom here on ENPH. I like this. I have a long here. I should be adding to it for the upside that it's showing. Alright. Another rounding bottom here on the 5-year. Nice change in price sentiment. Alright. I caught it here on the trend line. And it made a major bounce. And so now it's continuing its rounding bottom sort of thing here. So it just expected to close this week higher and higher, over 7 and then over. See if we get over, which I think we'll get over 7 for sure, but just see how far this rounding bottom continues. You never know. We might clearly come back to 16. We might clearly come back up to here to 13.50. We might clearly come to 14. Who never knows. If this stock goes, if we traded this stock, because we were looking at it from about $5, breaking out of 5, breaking out of this area. If we trade this from 5 basically to 16, that's another, that's another home run. 7 points, 8, 9, 10 points and above, that's a home run. Okay, SHSP. Doing really nice in this internet space. Alright, let's just see where this thing's gonna go. Alright. Doesn't have a lot of market cap behind it though. Alright, but let's just see where this thing's gonna go. Nice move here. And then on the 5-year, it's higher than it was back here. Okay. It's not even that old anyways. It goes back to February of May of 2017. So watch for SHSP to continue. Alright. PCOM was the first one that was on here. I was looking at this. Alright, so a little pullback here, but expect a higher high up through 17 on PCOM this week. Look for continuation on this thing here. Alright, from it breaking out of this channel. Nice pop up here. Tried to trade higher, but just was in a kind of sort of a channel, but really nice channel because it was sitting on top of this pop up. A stock pops like this, tries to trade higher, but holds all this levels, multiple hitting resistance, multiple. Look at that, resistance, bounce, resistance, bounce. All right, when these candles traded here, bounce. Now we didn't bounce off of here again. We just rallied through it. Okay, we rallied through 12 and it's at 16.27. And it rallied through 12 in the middle of May. Alright, in the middle of May it rallied. So it's been rallying since. Alright, PCOM, I like for that to continue. If you're looking for a level on it, look for it to hold this. Pan out. Pan out again. Let's look for it to hold this level at 16. Hold this gap up in price. Hold this gap up in price at 15 at $16. 15.80, 85. Okay, hold that gap up in price. PCOM, Fossil is amazing right now. The stock, the actual stock, the call option. I mean, it's all wonderful if you ask me. So I showed you guys this thing a few weeks ago for continuation. It's just a monster. Here's why I like it, because it's rounding on the 5-year. Rounding on the 5-year. The best time to catch these kind of stocks is when they're rounding off the bottom, because it's not like you're trying to catch tops and bottoms. It's not like you're making a guess. We're going off the pattern that prices are rounding. And we're just expecting prices to continue rounding and to come up to recent levels. Okay? So whoever saw this rounding back here, I don't know how many rounding bottom there traders there is. There might be a few after everyone gets done watching my show after a while. There might be a few rounding bottom traders, more than what there is now. But I know I love trading rounding bottoms because it's such an easy, nice risk to reward, highly successful pattern. But I'm going to make a video about that this week. Rounding bottom here. So whoever caught this understood this prices were rounding here and bought this little giant gap. Normally I told you guys when we're rounding off the bottom, sometimes there's something that will show you a pop up off there, and then prices will start off that pop. Alright, because prices are already saying they don't want to get pushed, so when they don't want to get pushed lower, so when they get that pop, that's a sign that prices are reversing. So whoever caught this thing and understood that it was rounding back when it was rounding, and then when you come, it should be rounding on the 5-year, then when you come into the 1 year, it should look very firm. Should look very firm. Price action should be very firm to the upside. All right, so look at Fossil to continue. That's a no-brainer this week. All right, and I love this thing for what it's doing right now. Okay, Fossil. I like Disca and I like FNKO. I like Disca, Denny's, and FNKO, which is Discovery. Alright, no brainer on Discovery. When you look at the 5-day, look at all that price action to the upside from a price of 26 to 28. So a lot of continuation on Disca. Pan out and see why we like it, because it is trading out of this area here. It tried to make its little curl, fell down, then it's trying to break out of this area. So we're just following the strength here. Alright, so we had a nice uptrend, downtrend came in play, and we're seeing if this uptrend starts itself up. Alright, we've already had consistent higher highs and lows here, so we'll see if this is an uptrend coming in to play, and then if there's some prices going to the upside. But if you look at it on the yearly, there's some strength there. Okay. Look at the prices here breaking out. Alright. Consistent higher highs and lows, guys. That's all we need. And this thing went from 21 to 28. Let's give you FNKO. Alright, look for continuation on FNKO. Absolute beast. Absolute beast. Look for it to hold 1150. Look for it to hold this price here. Old resistance. Here's resistance. Gap up over resistance, and then it's sitting on support now. Resistance turned into support. So let's see if this support level holds for continuation on higher highs. FNKO. Another stock I like right now, rounding on the 5. Hold on, that's not the 5. Let's see what we really got. So we're rounding on the 5 off of these prices here. Rounding here, obviously. Let's just see where this price goes. See where this thing goes. Alright. Just see where this thing goes. See if it tries to. It's already inside of this area, knocked over that, inside of this. So let's just see if it has some consistency in its price action. Let's see if that can trade to the upside. See if it can hold this giant candle here at 375. TRXC, I have a long here. Alright, I have a long at 380. Long here at 380. And it still has some room up here to move. Has these pops and drops, though I'm not a fan of that, but prices are shifting to the upside. Alright. So let's see what TRXC does and where it goes. Alright, kind of rounded here and went back. So it didn't knock yet, knocked this over and it's over that. So let's see if it heads up. Alright. Looks nice here, but you need to look at the big picture. So it looks nice. Prices look decent here, but always pan out and see exactly what's going on inside that stock. Alright. So it looks pretty crappy. Has some room to move. No, not really consistency in these prices here either on the 5-year. Not really a consistent structure that we can follow. When we pan out on those time frames, you guys, we're just looking for a decent pattern that we can follow, some consistency. But here it is here. Gap up, pull back, gap up, pull back, gap up, pull back, major gap up. Maybe some pullback coming in that. But nice stock there. Denny's last but not least, and then we'll see what the week gives us, guys. But we're looking for some more home runs that we can hold on to and kind of ride out. Looking for some more home runs that we can ride out. ENPH might be one, TYME might be one, TRXC, Fossils one for sure. Could be one. But we're looking for more home runs, guys. Alright, make sure that we stay loaded up. Make sure we keep our guns loaded. Alright, keep our guns loaded with trends that we can turn to. So here's Denny's. Looking absolutely wonderful. I've got $18 calls that we break out of this thing sometime. Not in a rush. I believe that we will set a higher over this because we've already jumped so far into this gap. So I like this thing. Denny's for continuation. Alright. Give you some levels that it can hold up. This is after that major gap down, and we started trading back through it. So look for this stock to hold up 1634. It doesn't really do a lot of major. It came off of the little pullback, so it's having its little going through its little wave here. So just watch this stock. It shouldn't hold up these recent resistance turn support levels. It should hold up these levels here at 16 bucks. Alright, so watch Denny's to continue. Alright, so I'll see you guys back here in the middle of the week, and we'll see what these markets are giving us, see what everything that we're looking at, see how it turns out, and let it give us. We just need time. So we start off the week with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stocks, and then as the week goes on, it will show us who's the winners and losers out of those picks, and all we do is just cut those losers and ride those winners, and then hopefully we have enough weight on those winners, and we're adding weight to those winners as we go. Alright? Okay, so ride those winners, cut those winners, cut those losers, and remember what we heard from Druckenmiller: preserve capital, preservation of capital, and hitting home runs over a period of time, and we may be able to get some absolute returns and put ourselves in a George Soros and get up here with Druckenmiller and some of these guys. All right. So manage that risk in any case, and let's keep hitting these home runs.